For me, I always said that I would never sell the company unless it was $1 billion. I was very determined that I wouldn't do it for anything under that. But I think when
900 million is good, but $1 billion is like, that's a flex.
I was just like, it's going to be this or I'm not doing it.
So Rhode is obviously a huge part of your life, but you do a lot of other stuff. Your mother, your model, you have other fashion projects. What's like, when you're in LA, walk me through your average work day. Like, when do you get up? When do you go to the office? Like, how are you sort of balancing all these different parts of your life?
It really depends on a day-to-day basis. A typical day at home for me, get up with my son, hit a workout as much as I can. I have become a lot more of a homebody than I used to be, and I think when you have a child that happens, at least it did for me. I don't want to generalize it like that happens for everybody, but it definitely made me have so much less FOMO. And I also think getting older does that too, because I have a lot of friends who don't even have kids that feel the same way. I just don't feel like I'm really missing out on much anymore. The other night I was at dinner with my best friend, and we were supposed to go somewhere after the dinner and it got canceled, and we both were like, yes, like so not mad to be going home and turning on a show and just being cozy in bed. And I'm so happy with that now, because I used to be a person where I was like, I want to go out to dinner every night, and you know, I don't want to like skip plans. And now I'm just a lot more fulfilled with being cozy and being in my space and recharging and energizing in that way. And then also, I just love to spend time with my son too. So, and he's growing so fast and it's gone by so fast, and it starts to become more and more real how much you want to soak up that time. You
and Justin are obviously like very famous and have been under a lot of scrutiny for a long time in the public eye. And now that you have a son, how do you balance as a family like the sort of public thing and the private thing? Like, how do you sort of think about that?
I think we're just taking it a day at a time. I think we both feel very protective of our son, and I don't think that's ever going to change. But our life is our life, and it is really public. So I think we're just going to cross every bridge that we need to when we get there. I feel really comfortable about the way we are sharing things and not sharing things.
Yeah. Is he going to get a smartphone, Instagram?
Oh,
how do you
God.
feel about the screen time stuff? These are the big parenting questions.
I know. I'm not super big on screen time at all. And honestly, he's seen little movies and things here and there. He's not super interested in it, which makes me happy. He would way prefer to play outside and play with his toys and hang out. So as long as I can keep that going, I definitely am going to.
Yeah, that's great. What's like the one thing about motherhood that you wish someone had told you before becoming a mother?
I don't think there's anything someone can tell you about it that will ever, ever, ever prepare you until you do it yourself. And I think once you do it, you have so much more understanding of, like, I feel much more prepared to do it again as opposed to how not prepared I felt doing it for the first time. And I think for me personally, it's because there's so much unknown to it. But you know, so much happens and so much changes, and you evolve in a totally different way that you would never be able to prepare for until you do it.
Where are you at spiritually these days? How's your spiritual practice? Has that evolved at all as now that you're a mother?
I'm somebody who's always been a quite spiritual person. I think your depth of spirituality becomes deeper when you bring life into the world, for sure. It is a very spiritual experience. And yeah, I don't think that's ever going to change for me. Spirituality is something for me that I would always love to evolve the depth of it. But yeah, I don't think that's something that will ever not be so important in my life and close to my life.
Let's go back to your daily routine.
Yeah, that was kind of my fault. I went really off on a tangent.
We went off the beaten path. But once you have your nice morning at home, is there a Rhode office that you go to?
Yeah, we have our Rhode headquarters here in LA. We have an office on Wilshire, and I think since the pandemic, it's become a lot easier to not have to go do things in person. Lots of Zooms. still a big fan of Zooming. But the office is really close to me, so I end up in there at least a couple times a month, I would say, depending on how my personal schedule is. I do really like to go into the office because I like to see everybody and I like to see the team. And it's a lot easier for me to be in person, to touch, see, and feel everything and touch samples and look at packaging. And I just feel like we get a lot more done when we have these big in-person meetings.
Yeah.
So I would say a few times a month I'm in there maybe.
In May, you sold Rhode to the beauty company e.l.f. for $1 billion.
Yeah.
Where were you when you first heard that number, and what was your reaction?
For me, I always said that I would never sell the company unless it was $1 billion. I was very determined that I wouldn't do it for anything under that. But I think when
900 million is good, but $1 billion is like, that's a flex.
I was just like, it's going to be this or I'm not doing it. That was my like goal. But also it was not always entirely my goal to sell the company. I thought if the right opportunity came along and the right home for it came along, then I would definitely consider it. And I think with e.l.f., everything really just, all of the boxes that I would want to check to find a home for it, they checked them and then some. But of course, like when you hear that it's a real thing and the number is real and that's a real situation being put in front of you, it's definitely like, whoa, okay. It's very cool.
Yeah, that was a moment.
Yeah, it was a moment.
Yeah. When you were thinking about selling, I mean, you founded it only 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. Did e.l.f. come first, or did the decision to explore the sale come first?
It was kind of like they both happened at once. There was conversation about potential interest, and at the time I just felt open to hearing what was possible and what was out there. So yeah, it kind of was all just like so many things had to be syncing up at once for that to all make sense and be possible at the time. And then also in myself too, like there was fear about, is it too soon? Is it not the right time? Is it the right time? But after having met with e.l.f. the first few times, as the conversations were progressing, I felt more and more sure and more comfortable knowing that if ever there was a permanent home for it, that they would be the ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You make it sound so casual and like selling your brand for $1 billion is just sort of another day in the life.
It's definitely a really gigantic milestone, and I'm super proud and I'm super happy and grateful. I guess it's like, I mean, I don't know, like it's definitely, it is a big deal, and I am really happy.
Yeah, so there's still some pinch me moments for sure.
Oh, it was a huge pinch me moment. I'm definitely not trying to downplay that. It was a massive situation. I just think so much value goes on like the actual price tag when it's like there's so many other factors and things that go into it that make the deal what it is, you know?
Right. Okay, I'm going to throw out another number, which is, so I think 2 weeks ago, Rhode launched at Sephora.
Yeah.
And it's been Sephora's biggest beauty launch ever.
Yeah.
And I read in WWD that the numbers sort of net out to Sephora selling something like 3 Rhode products per second, which means that as we've been sitting here, my back of napkin math is correct, Sephora's sold like 2,000, maybe 2,500 Rhode products already. Did you expect it to go that well?
I think for me, everything with Rhode is like, I have my hopes for it, and then I feel like it always exceeds my hopes and expectations. Everything that has happened with this brand has far eclipsed anything I could have ever dreamed of and hoped for what has been built. I think with Sephora, I personally wasn't expecting that to be the result. I really wanted to push it and have it be the best launch that we could have it be. Of course, I really wanted it to be the biggest launch in Sephora's history. I was hopeful that we would do that and that we could do that. But I thought because it was going to be on shelves and in store, maybe it would take away a little bit of the desire to get it so quickly because it would be in stock and it would be in stores. So I definitely was still surprised to see it go the way that it did. And again. Hello. Sorry to be all up in your space. I think I was still, a little bit surprised to see that response to it. And again, it just gives me even more gratitude for our customer and our fan base at Rhode. And I just we're nothing without the consumer and the customers. Like, we're absolutely zero without them and without the dedication and just, the want and the demand for the brand. So
the last 10 years in the beauty industry, there have been lots of celebrity-founded brands, there have been lots of independent brands, there have been lots of sort of outside disruptive brands, and, Rhode has gotten to this level so quickly. Why?
Yeah, I don't know if I can exactly say why. My hope for why I think it might be different and why I actually do feel like it is different in comparison to other brands, I think that we come with a different point of view when it comes to beauty. Of our assortment is super curated, super edited. I like to make these kind of staple products where it's one of everything good is our motto that we go by. And when I say that, I mean one really good moisturizer, one really good, blush, one really good, all these products that when I travel and when I'm going out for the day, things that I want to throw in my bag, and I want to make the best formula of that thing so that I don't feel the need to go buy it from somewhere else. That was the whole ethos of launching the brand, and also having really good branding and really good aesthetic. And I feel like for me, when I'm building Rhode, it's a whole universe and a whole world that I'm building. And when I open up that world, my hope for why people have really gravitated towards it is that they feel like they're a part of something that is bigger than skincare. It's not just a beauty brand, it's a whole lifestyle. And that was something I feel like I really saw with the phone cases, and it really integrated into people's day-to-day lives. And that's how beauty and skincare is for me. It's a day-to-day lifestyle thing for me.
Was the phone case your idea?
It was my idea. We were sitting in a meeting, and I think we all kind of together collectively, we were we had this aha moment. We were sitting in a meeting and I had one of those sticky cases on the back of my phone, the suction thing. We were sitting in a meeting and I kept sticking the lip onto the suction, and we were all sitting there and I'm holding it up like this, and I'm looking around the room at everyone in the meeting, and I'm
that was the eureka moment.
We were kind of can someone quickly Google if this exists? Is there a holder that exists? Thinking 100% on Amazon, there has to be something. Right. And it didn't exist, so I was let's try to do it as quickly as we can, and that's how the phone case was born. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Harris Dickinson was the first male face of Rhode. He looked dewy and awesome in the campaign. What is your ambition in men's grooming, men's beauty space? Are you planning on expanding Rhode into that?
Honestly, I really feel like skincare is genderless. It doesn't need to be geared towards specifically men or specifically women. Now, I do understand that with men that there's certain grooming things that are needed, beards and all that kind of thing. But for me, my whole thing with Rhode was that I really wanted it to be a skincare brand that was super elevated and chic in the coloring and the packaging, so that this is what I kept saying, if your boyfriend went into your bathroom and wanted to use something, they wouldn't feel oh, this is really girly and everything is pink, or it just felt like it could be for anybody and anyone could use it. My husband uses Rhode and has since the beginning and loves it, and I have a lot of male friends that are obsessed with it and use it, and I put a lot of guys who never really were into skincare onto the Rhode stuff. Tons of Justin's friends, and they come back to me and they're I ran out of my cleanser, I need more. And that, to me, it makes me so happy, because I think that skincare is for everybody, and everybody should have access to a great skincare routine, and it doesn't take much to have a great skincare routine. And that was another big ethos for me with Rhode, is that you could have 3 things, even if you're just washing your face and putting on moisturizer at night. That's doing a lot more than doing nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, men need some help, so that's good.
Men do need some help, but I do think it would be easy for a guy to grab his glazing milk out of his girlfriend's bathroom and do a little something,
Well, I'll have to get some samples later.
I got you.
So, switching gears a little bit, you have 55 million followers, which is more than the number of people who live in Canada and many other countries.
Whoa.
So it's hard to generalize anything about that many people, but I'm curious how you sort of think about your fans and your followers, and what you think that what you think they care about and sort of what you think they want from you?
To be honest, I just like to post what feels good for me. I share what I'm comfortable with. I share what I think is interesting, what I think is cool, what I think looks good. And, I pay attention. I see the way people are posting. I feel like things continuously change on Instagram, like even the way people post photo dumps, and now we're posting with music on our posts. That was something that posting with music to your Instagram didn't exist. So I think it's always evolving. And it's also a way that I like to interact to a certain degree. I interact on there with all my friends. We DM each other stuff back and forth. So it's definitely a beautiful tool. I think it can be a challenging tool, but it's also, I look at Instagram as like this really cool photo diary as well. And I can scroll back so far and see myself in 2016 and look back on, this girl that I've started as and where I am today. And
so you don't archive?
I don't really archive, no.
Good for you.
A little bit here and there if I feel like things are getting a little messy.
Do you feel like you sort of naturally inhabit the role of boss at Rhode?
I feel like the road of boss in my title, I feel very clear on as the chief creative officer and on the creative side and thinking about the ideas and concepts for shoots and all of those things. I feel really, I feel very bossy in that seat, but also I feel everybody who's on the team is also bossy in their seats and in their roles. And nothing that I ever come up with or think about gets done or gets executed if I didn't have all of those executors being so good at what they do. So I feel like we're all bossy together, and it's a lot of shared work and responsibility.
Right. This is a boardroom of bosses.
I think so. There's bad bitches at Rhode.
Do you have a dream male face of Rhode? Someone who is like bucket list, would love to cast?
I mean, I was really thrilled when Harris did our campaign. I think someone on the older side would be really interesting, like an older male, and I think that could be interesting and cool. There's nobody off the top of my head, but maybe like an older actor would be interesting to me. Yeah.
Yeah, like I could picture like Willem Dafoe having,
which would be sick.
Really glossy skin.
We love, yeah.
Okay, so you've had a long day at the office, being a boss with the bosses. What do you like to do after to unwind? Do you go home? Do you?
I definitely like to go home after a packed day. I always want to be with my family. I always want to see my son. Maybe a dinner, maybe a little martini with the girls. It really depends on my energy. I think I'm at the time in my life and I'm at the age where I really like to understand when I don't have anything else to give, and I don't want to waste my time trying to make plans when I don't have anything to give,
It's very responsible of you.
I do my best.
You actually posted something on Instagram yesterday about how you're an outrovert, which is a term I'd never heard.
I never heard that before. I posted that because I had never seen it before, but it made a lot of sense for how I feel. I'm very extroverted, but I also really need time by myself to reset.
Yeah, wait, so walk us through the outrovert concept. It's someone who's extroverted, but
introverted. I think that's what it was saying. It's like you're both.
You're both.
It's someone who's really extroverted but needs introverted time to
so you go to the
recharge.
You go to the function, you social, and then
I go to the function, social butterfly, talk. Don't, and then in bed the next day, like, don't leave my house. Very chill. I'll give you a good example. We were just in New York, Sephora launch, New York Stock Exchange, very, very busy, back to back to back.
Ringing the bell,
super cool experience. Came back to LA, didn't want to leave my house for a week. Just recharge, my sanctuary, catching up on sleep. That feels very outrovert to me.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Outrovert?
I found out about it from your Instagram, so.
Oh, okay, so I don't know if I'm even saying that right, but very both.
Yeah, well, you figured it out. That's great. Now you know.
I like having a title for those feelings. So.
Exactly. So another creative project you've been working on, another thing I saw from your Instagram is you've been designing a leather jacket for Justin's brand Skylark.
Yeah.
Tell me about that process and what you're working on there.
So yeah, I am designing this jacket with them, and I feel like that's a super fun collaborative process to do with his brand. Skylark, I think, is incredible and amazing, and everything they're doing and building there is so super cool, and I'm just happy that they want me to be a part of it, and you know that they have asked me to come in and make something with them. And it's obviously really fun when you get to be able to do anything with the person that you love. And the team there is really amazing, and I feel really inspired by them, and I think the clothes are sick, I think the shoes are sick, I think the point of view is sick. I don't like doing anything I'm not inspired by, and I feel super inspired by everything that they're doing.
Yeah. Why a leather jacket? I know that you're a fan, but have you always wanted to make?
I just am obsessed with leather jackets, and I thought it would be fun to just make one from scratch that I felt really good about, and that would be my perfect version of a leather jacket. I don't want to say too much about the actual jacket because I feel like I'll be speaking too soon and I'll ruin the concept behind it, but I will. When it's coming out, I will explain further a little bit the concept behind it. But yeah, there's a couple things that I'm doing with them that are coming. And then obviously, he's doing the joint holder case, which I think is really sick and really fucking cool.
So did you approve it?
I did approve the joint case. I did, yes. And it's just been a fun process to see him in his bag with the Skylark stuff and what he's doing, what he's building, and being able to both have things that we're really excited about and passionate about alongside each other and supporting each other. And it's just could not ask for more, Did
you have to think about the approval for the...
No.
Or were you like,
of course
okay,
not.
It's fine?
No.
Okay, well, that's great.
But it was a fun little gimmick.
Yeah, I liked the sort of back and forth on Instagram about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's breaking news. Is the leather jacket that you're designing, is that a sign of ambitions in the clothing space that you might have? I know that before you founded Rhode, you'd always imagined doing a clothing brand before first, and then obviously the beauty happened first. But is there, I don't know, are the gears turning?
I think I feel more comfortable dabbling in one-off situations, and of course, having fun with Skylark and being able to do that is a version of that and is an example of that. I don't know if I think I would do a clothing brand from scratch and start from zero. I also am somebody I don't want to over-consume this consumer. I don't believe in overconsumption. But I do think getting to do collabs and one-off collabs, and especially with a brand that's so close to me like that, is something I definitely want to do more of.
I mean, you started Rhode from scratch, so.
I did, and I felt like that was because I had a really different POV for the skincare and beauty space. And I think as I expand my world of business and brands, I am most interested in expanding it in a way where I have a very specific and different point of view. And I think having a very specific and different point of view in clothing is very hard to do. When I do something, I want to know that 150,000% of me is behind it and knows that that is the thing that I want to do and put everything into it. Mm-hmm. I do think the beauty and wellness space is somewhere that I continuously feel passionate about. But, I'm still so focused on Rhode, and all my attention is there, other than these other projects that I can give myself to and can make space for.
Yeah. How else are you expanding your business interests and other projects like you mentioned?
I do little things here and there in the investment space, and like I said, the one-off, collaboration space. That's something that I definitely think I'll continue to do. When I feel really passionate about something, or someone comes to me, hey, would you like to collab with this? Or do you want to do a campaign for this? Unless I'm sure that I feel passionate about it and I think I can lend a different lens, then I'll do it. But if I feel like I can't bring anything different to the table for that brand or for that person, then I won't.
Right. So it's really sort of a creative dialogue.
How
do I, why me? Why should I actually do this?
100%. And also, I'm in a place now too where if I'm going to do something with a brand, I really like to give my creative input and give my taste and my point of view to it. And I've been really lucky that everybody I've done campaigns with, and it's been a super collaborative process.
Speaking of campaigns, it really feels like, I got here from New York yesterday, and I felt like I was arriving in Hailey Bieber's LA because there are no fewer than 4 billboards with you on them between like Mel's Drive-In and the Chateau Marmont. Does that feel significant to you? Does that, does that kind of thing never get old?
It's still very pinch me. I was walking into Sushi Park last night, and it was so ridiculous. It was like, there was the Sephora one here and the DKNY, and then the Chase one was right behind it. And I was like, what is going on right now? It still is very, wow, that's so cool. And like a proud moment for me. I don't think it does ever get old, to be honest.